Welcome, 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 everyone. We just finished this amazing workshop, and people were saying, I need some help. The things that I was doing in the last year, even 2 years especially, those things are not working anymore. And a lot of people are thinking, how do I change this? How do I make all of this work again? Because you might have been doing the same thing that was working for you before, in the same way, the same places, but it's not working anymore. So what we're going to do today is disrupt things. Are you guys ready? I want to show you how you can actually start to disrupt your business right now, because I want to have you understand these concepts so you start and implement them. If you come here every single week, you're going to have an amazing arsenal of things that you can do in your business. If you're just starting and you're trying to get to 6 figures, this is the perfect place. If you're right around that 6-figure mark, you can just smell it, right? And you want to take it to the next level, then definitely book a call with me. I'll be happy to hop on a call with you and help you out. What we're talking about today is the 3 secrets to disrupt your market. They are kind of secret because it seems to be very hard for a lot of people to succeed at this. You see, here is the thing. Zebra stripes don't change. I say this all the time. Have you heard this? The zebra stripes don't change. I say this a lot when I look at patterns of people. If you've always done something a certain way, you're probably going to just keep doing that. It's also called in physics the quantum zeno effect. If you've done something, you're going to just keep doing it and doing it because it's habit, right? You get a lazy brain, and the brain is trying to be efficient. By doing so, it just wants to default to the thing you've done over and over and over. That's why habits are so hard to break. So zebra stripes don't change. We learned this in the finance business when I had mortgage companies in 13 different states. People's habits financially didn't change. If they were a subprime borrower, they were a subprime borrower. If they were an A borrower, they were always an A borrower. Have you noticed that? Think that for you. What is it that just doesn't change? Where do your zebra stripes not change? All right. And what I want you to understand is that your business can. Even if the zebra stripes are not changing, we can change your business. It's really important to understand that if you don't start disrupting, if you don't become distinct and distinguish, you will become extinct. The biggest thing is that you have to focus on one thing and stand out. So what do? Put in the comments what you do and say hi, okay? What do you do? Are you a coach? Are you a jeweler? Are you a physician? What kind of business do you do? Put that down below. Love to meet some of you. I have some gifts for you guys today. I'm so excited. And it's called a maximizer. So I'm going to show you the maximizer in a minute. And if you want the maximizer, just type #max and we'll get that to you. Okay. And so some of you were with me last week and we did the Sword Scale workshop, but this is the maximizer. About half of you didn't even know. When we're following up, we're doing a lot of follow-up to see what you thought, but a lot of you didn't realize that part of your workshop was a maximizer. Okay, it's a 30-day accelerator to make sure that you take those 4 steps we taught you how to scale your business and you get it done in 30 days. So did you get your maximizer? If you did not, I want you to type #max, #max, and I will get that for you. But if you need the replays for today, if you're getting here just now or you want to watch this again, because I'm going to give you some detailed stuff, just type #replay. Okay, #replay, and we will get this for you. Today, we're talking about disrupting. It is one of my favorite things. It is my expertise. And when I grew up as a child, I grew up in Europe, and it was awesome. We grew up on a big farm and we had like a little bakery, and up the street we had a restaurant and bar, and it was so safe and we could go around. You can't do this today, right? As a little 4 or 5-year-old kid or 6-year-old kid, you can't walk at like 10 o'clock at night and walk up to the bar and all that kind of stuff. My goodness, I would disappear today, right? But it was really safe, very bucolic. It was awesome and it was great. It was a wonderful life until my parents decided to move to America. It was awful. I was disrupted. German is my native tongue. I don't know if you can tell that. I speak 5 languages, but I was an outcast. I was so not fitting in, right? I didn't sound like anyone. I didn't look like anyone. And I didn't behave like them. I didn't like the same things, activities that they did. I just was a total misfit. You know what happens when you're a kid and you're a misfit? Yeah, exactly. You're bullied and beat up and made fun of, and they play games against you. It was hard, okay? I got tired of being beat up, and I went to my mom. I wanted some help with my language skills. I think I'm doing okay today. So that helped. But then she told me that, Koni, your difference is going to be your difference maker. I finally started adopting that and said, wow, what if the thing that makes me so different that people at this childish age want to beat me up for, what if the thing that makes me really different could turn into a difference maker? By the time I was 14, I started my first business, and it became multi-million-dollar business before I was 18 and before I could even drive. So that difference that I had, the thing that made me so different, which was the way I looked and the way I sounded, became the thing that made me millions. And this became the foundation of what I help people do, is take your difference and make it disruptive, make it the thing that makes you millions. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. And let me take you through the agenda of what we're doing today. So we are going to disrupt the status quo. We're going to talk about 4 things: the markets that you can disrupt in, the methods that you disrupt, the metrics, and the maximizer. And I hinted at the maximizer. So we will get you that maximizer just like this. Type hashtag, thank you, Adia. Type hashtag max, and we'll get that for you. You got about 2 more weeks to go ahead and redeem that. So make sure you get that, because it's really, really awesome. There's no sense in coming to a really long workshop like we did. It was for 12 hours and then not doing anything, right? You want to have that 30-day accelerator. So every time I'm here, I'm always teaching you the core things that'll take you to 7 figures. That's it. That's my singular focus. I want you to take your business to 7 figures. If you want to stop along the way, not make it all the way to 7, that's okay. But that is my goal. And these are the 9 steps I take you through. However, today, most days, I just can only focus on one of the steps. So today, we're focusing on this middle row. So this middle row is what we're focusing on, because that's where we disrupt. We're going to take it another step deeper. And in April, we're going to really go deep on how do you dominate a market. Does that sound cool? And you're going to love, at the very last slide I have for you is I'm going to show you how you're going to dominate your market. And I do not want you to miss that, because that is awesome. So this is where we are. And what we want to say is own your own niche, okay? Find your own place. I couldn't find my place when I was coming from Europe to America, because I was trying to fit in like everybody else. Has that ever happened to you? I don't fit in. You kind of notice that? I don't fit in really anywhere well. And so it was hard. But I want you to find your own niche. Rather than saying, oh, everybody's doing this, I should do this. Yeah, be disruptive. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it and how to do it in a very safe way. And just go to meetkoni.com. You just saw that if you want to know how. So let's talk about where you can do this. Okay, so where are the places that you can do this? Here we go. These are 5 of the most accessible sectors that you can disrupt the world. Transportation. Now, some of you are going to think these are really big. These are B2B. It doesn't matter if it's B2B or B2C. It's H to H, right? Human to human. And so transportation, think about the disruption that we've had there. Very obvious, right? With Tesla coming out with electric cars. And then everyone said, oh, we're going to do electric cars. That's no big deal. But they're so far ahead. Now they're doing autonomous driving cars, right? And they're also disrupting transportation as far as eventually you're going to see hardly any buses. They've got the Boring Company, and then you're going to have tunnels underground, right? Flying cars. There's all these things that are right around the corner that today we're like, yeah, maybe. And then 5-10 years from now, it's going to be, wow. But they're disrupting right now. Telecom, that's changing a lot. Everyone thought D is going to be the thing. And WhatsApp disrupted a lot of the phone services, right? Apple and Facebook thought they'd get in on that. So there's so much disruption in telecom. Manufacturing, where people are doing a lot of things. Look at how much of manufacturing is now robotic. And even with all these things, people are like, oh, I got my own robot. Well, you know what people are doing now? They're creating industries where you can have, like, oh, how do I put this? Like a tire for your robot. If you want to dress your robot up as a girl or a boy or whatever, they have all kinds of things. They have it so that you can now design your own tennis shoes, and manufacturing makes it for you just off of an image. Energy has gotten very disruptive. It's so far beyond solar right now. So what does that mean? Right? These are big industries. Healthcare is a big thing, especially for a lot of you that are working kind of more age to age, more humans, right? You're working as a coach or a consultant. A lot of doctors are here. You might be in the real estate finance business. That's very human connected, right? You can take tips from the healthcare industry and the disruption that they're having where they're not going to a doctor, right? It's in telehealth, and they're opening really niche down little corner little stores of healthcare to work on just one little aspect. So how can you tap into that? Right? We do a lot with mindset because that's a huge aspect. If you don't have your mind right, you're not going to have your business right. And so we can tap into that. And I did a lot of my stuff more telehealth to help people with their mind. So I'm going to show you that in a few minutes, how you can take something like that, disrupt. I'm trying to open your mind, not have you go down the same road. Remember, just like a giraffe, you've got to stick your neck out a little bit. Okay. Now, those are 5 big industries. Let me ask you this. How are you doing? You've got all these big industries, and what really happens? What really happens then is there's always one. There's always one that is ahead, and that one is the disruptor. The question is, are you that disruptor? Because everyone's going to follow you and try and mimic you, but who makes the money? The one who has the first move. So I know everyone has yeah, but, right? But you can do this. You can capitalize on somebody else's idea. It's not always the first one. Think about, what are you doing? Is it boring? Are you bored with your business? Are you not loving it? Are you feel like, ugh, okay, how can you disrupt it? How can you look at what different industries are doing? This is cross-pollination. This is what we do with our clients. And how can you look at different things? Is there a little bit of growing pains in the beginning? Yes. Just like when I came to America, I was growing pains trying to fit in. And then I realized, no, I don't need to fit in. I need to create my own lane. It's so much more comfortable. So while you're trying to fit in, it's rough. While you make your own lane, it's easy. Make sense? I just want you to disrupt. If you don't know how, I want to help you. So type #disrupt. I will reach out to you and we will figure out, how do we disrupt your business so it's not the same old boring thing as everybody else, or the same old boring thing that you've been doing for a while, right? Again, if the shoe fits, let's figure it out. This is where you go. Go to meetkoni.com or just type #disrupt and we'll help you. So would you like to know the 3 ways, I promised you the 3 ways that you disrupt a market? Okay, so this is where you want to start taking notes. Okay, this is where you really want to start paying attention, because this is where you really want to think, oh, am I doing this or not? I want you to put down everything else. Stop looking at other tabs. I want you to pay attention here. Okay, no more eating, no more drinking. I just want you to look at this, because this is how you do it. I don't always teach you the how. I show you what to do, but I'm going to show you how you actually do all this. Let's look at the 3 steps that you need to take in order to have disruptive innovation. First thing is idea generation. You got to come up with the idea. What is a new idea that nobody has that's going to be very difficult for other people to copy or very expensive for other people to copy? Then the next stage is incubation. You've got to nurture that thing. You got to grow it up from a baby idea to an adult mature idea. And from that mature idea, you need to scale it. That's easy, right? 3 simple steps. So I'm going to break these down a little bit more for you. And that's why I say pay really close attention. I want you to type #replay if you need some help with this, or just meetkoni.com and we will get you the replay, whatever you need. Those are the 3 steps. But what is the next most important thing that you have to do? This is where, just like in the beginning, most people end up in this hole, okay? And they just stand there. And you can't, okay? You can't just stand there and do nothing and then expect something to happen. Like, oh, I'm being really disruptive. I'm thinking different. No, it's not just thinking. It's thinking in action. So what can you do? Think about some things, some ideas, and it might even be in a weird industry, but then you could still apply it to your business. I do this all the time with clients, and they come in, they're like, I don't know what business to do. I just know I don't like what I'm doing anymore, or I'm bored, or I want something new. And then we put together this amazing business. But it's usually from coming with different ideas that are not ordinary. That's why I love the VIP sessions I do with you guys, because it allows me to be really creative, and you go, wow, I never thought, that's exactly what I've always wanted, and I didn't know how to put it together. Okay, so that's what you want to do. So we've got those 3 steps. You know you have to take action. You can't just stand there. So let's break it down. All right, so you got to generate new ideas. How do you do that? look at your business too. How do you disrupt your business as it is? Problem seeking. You have to be a problem seeker. You got to figure out what is a problem for people. Oh, I hate when that happens. Like, for example, I hate wanting help online or from a company and all I get is a bot. And I just go around circles and circles. I just want a human, right? That's one of the problems I don't like. So you know what we did as a response? Our business is massive intimacy. We don't have the bots. We just deal with people directly. We hop on the call all the time. Right? Because why? It gets done faster. I'm all about speed. So where can you find problems? And then you could somewhere that you're doing business in, and then how can you apply it to your business? You can also brainstorm, pull together some of the leaders in your company or even some peers and brainstorm. What are you doing? What do you come across? What are people saying? Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do that? If all costs were removed, what would you do with your business? And then the other one is what I call the Einstein method, is quiet time. When the greatest geniuses in the world, Einstein would get all of his ideas and the theory of relativity and everything by being quiet and pulling away. That's very important. So if you do those three things, you're going to be able to generate the idea. So once we generate it, is it enough? Well, the question is, are you being heard? So you got this great idea. Is anybody listening? Most people have a hard time getting heard, but they're part of the herd. So let's look at the second part of what you need to do. You need to start incubating these ideas. How do you do that? Do markets, go out to your clients. We've got surveys. If you don't have one, let us know. We can show you how to do that. You also want to do some strength testing. See where your business falls apart. See where you can put a lot of tension on it. Like, what if you worked with me and I showed you how to bring 20 new clients in your first month, which is not hard to do. And then you're like, oh, I can't handle it, right? Infrastructure is right. So you need to strength test it to see, oh, this would happen. This is where it would break if I really became disruptive. Does that make sense? And the third one is pilot programs. That's another way to really nurture these things and do some mini programs. And how do you really get people into it and committed? So we were doing a pilot program for somebody who has a disruptive AI product. And I thought I'd be falling in love and using it all the time. And you know what? I only used it twice. I thought, why am I not into it? And that gave them a lot of information, how to make it more sticky. So again, talking, for example, about the mind, right? We have this program, right? 21 Day Mind Mastery, and it's very sticky. People love it. They stick to it. You could talk to Angie, and she's here today, and she has never missed a day in a year. What have you ever done for a whole year, never missed a day, right? So how do you do that to your business? And that's the incubation process. So 21 Day Mind Mastery was in an incubator for 3 years, being tested and tracked and everything else. So you've got to get heard once you have that great idea. You got to be testing it. Then let's look at the next part, because I'm going to show you then how to break it down. Okay, these are the 3 stages. So the third stage is you got to scale. This is how you scale your disruptive ideas. You're going to look for early adopters. The people who are like, oh, I want that. Are you like the first in line in Apple or something like that? And a new thing comes out, you're always there. You're always avant-garde one. You always get the new fashions first, whatever it is. You know, you were the first one in your neighborhood with the HD TV. Those are early adopters. They really, really help you set the trend and scale and see what's going on. Also, flawless fulfillment. This is where a lot of people break down in being disruptive. They're trying to do something different, but they can't deliver. If you can't deliver a flawless way when something is brand new and unique, you're done. People aren't going to give you a second chance when you're in a disruptive phase. I'm going to show you the 4 phases in just 1 second, so stay tuned, okay? And you need ubiquitous marketing. Ubiquitous marketing, big word, little meaning, right? Means be everywhere. If you're trying to scale, you have got to be really all over the place for the people that you're trying to reach. You don't have to be all over the place for everybody. You have to be all over the place for the people you're trying to reach. And this is the thing. Think about your business. Are you trying to be all over the place for everyone? And yet your market is very small and niched, right? Guess what? You're going to burn out. Anyone burning out? Anyone trying to be on every media? Everyone trying to do little videos, long videos, posts, all that stuff, and you're burning out? Yeah, you're missing the message. That's not the message. So how would you like to make sure that anything that you learn, you actually put it into place? This is what we did with our Maximizer. A Maximizer was part of our Soar to Scale program. What we were doing is teaching you how to design, grow, and scale your business. And there are 4 maxims that will completely transform your business. And what will happen is you stack them. So you stack your maxims. And when you do, that's how we can take you from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year or less. So if you did not get it, I really, really, really want to make sure you do it, because at the end of the month, we aren't doing these anymore. We're not giving them out. So #max, this will help you make sure you have a way to accelerate. Boom, like that, 30 days. It's a 30-day accelerator. You got to use your maximizer within that 30-day period or it disappears. So now you know the 3 things, right? That you have to generate new ideas, you need to incubate them, and then you have to scale. So how do you actually disrupt? Are there steps like 1, 2, 3 disrupt? There's steps that you have to do to grow a business, but how do you disrupt one? All right. Intentionally, not by accident. You just blow it up because you don't want to do it anymore or whatever. So how would you like to see the steps? Remember, what we're talking about is right here. This middle section here, this disruption, see those 3 steps? These are 3 of the 4 steps. So our program inherently has, when we teach you this, every time I come here, I'm teaching you one of those steps. So today I'm teaching you all 3. So in order to disrupt, you have to first find that problem. Then you need to have a prototype. We call that your perfect product, your iconic premium offer, the thing that you're going to launch out into the world, make it very lucrative so that you can work with the better people and work less. And then your pilot program. You need a power platform in order to get all of this out. Where are you going to unleash your power? Your pilot program, you've got to have a powerful platform to do it. So let me show you the process, okay? Because you guys know everything is based on a concept of, let me grab my square, right? My cube. Everything that we're teaching you in order to go from 6 figures to 7 figures, it's all based on this, the concept of a cube. And you have to be really clear in order to scale to 7 figures. You can't have any excess. All right. And you have to go fast. So this is how it looks. This is that square formula. So you start with the problem. Now, here's the thing. Only 10% of the people even try to disrupt. When you notice your sales are flat or your energy around your business is flat, you got to disrupt something. So, but only 10% of the people do. Remember the thing that was just the zebra that was just standing there? So you got to disrupt by finding a problem first. If you can't find a problem, then use those 3 steps on finding an idea. Then you're going to have a prototype. Then you're going to develop a pilot program. And so your prototype might take about 4 to 6 weeks to develop that out. And it could be 3 to 6 months on your pilot program. And then when you have all that working perfectly, then you have your disruptive product, okay? Your unique thing. And if you say, I just have a service, no, you have to productize your service. This is where a lot of people miss. They're like, I do this service. No, your service has to be productized. You can't always sell just an intangible. People can't see that. They need to like touch it, feel it, right? So I can talk about SOAR method all the time, but guess what? It's productized, isn't it? And that's why it's so successful. So if you haven't productized your business, no matter what it is, it's not going to work. But you got to get through these other phases, right? I know the problems. I already built out a prototype, and then we did a pilot programs of it, especially with 21-Day Mind Mastery, and then the product. So 21-Day Mind Mastery has been out for 5 years, and I started SOAR over 20 years ago. So these are solid things. They're not just fad. Oh, this is a new fad. Let's put out this, right? So when you look at those steps, again, you got to stick your neck out a little bit, okay? But here's the scary part. Scary part is this. When you do this, it's okay, but you have to expect that 7 out of 10 prototypes will fail. So don't go crazy right now. I'm going to go disrupt something. Keep in mind, 7 out of 10 are going to fail. There's some important signs that you have to understand about that. And what's the other thing? Then you get your prototype. Maybe you got that, 30% are good. Okay. And then you take one of those, but only 1 of 3 of those pilot programs, one of them is going to fail. The other 2 might succeed. So if you look at the odds, it's kind of scary. If you have a 70% failure rate just with your prototype, it makes people not want to do anything. And so let me take you back to this because I want to show you this. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to summarize this in like 30 seconds here. But look back at this. And do you see the problem? Only 10% try. 70% fail on the prototype. 30% fail on the pilot program. And you get about a 10% win on your product. Now, That's the disruption cycle. But if you're in that 90% that didn't get a good product, you got to go through that cycle again and again and again and again until you make money. What does that tell you? It could be exhausting. You could run out of money before you get a good idea, right? Well, so what is the key to this? I don't want to depress you. Here's the key. This is important. Remember, we are disrupting. We are standing out. We're trying to be different. If you want some help with it, let me know. Just call Koni.com and go there and just say, hey, this is my business. This is what I think I want to disrupt as. Great. I'll say, oh, brilliant idea. Go for it. Okay. Or wait, put the brakes on. That's not going to work. Oh, but just type hashtag replay if you missed any of this and you want to go back. Are you guys liking this? Is this making sense for you? Okay. So what is the key? Okay. Here's the key is you really can't disrupt alone. There's a lot of things you can do in your business alone. Disruption is not one of them. So I want to be really clear. When you're ready to disrupt, and you don't start a business disrupting, right? You usually are working on something and you disrupt. You might have a new idea for a business, but hopefully you've had some business experience because disruption is hard. You need some help with that. All right. And so that is the fourth step is you have to have help. And so we'd love to be your help. I just want to let you know, we've done this a lot. Okay. And this is why I say this is an area of expertise for us. And so just so you know what we do, right? These are all of our brands and all of the things. You guys don't hear about all of those, but they all are rooted from a problem. So we've done this a lot. We know how to do it and we can help you do it too, right? So one of our things that we do, sometimes you need to disrupt your brand. Sometimes you need to disrupt your business. Sometimes you need to disrupt yourself. So our iconic design group does all of this. They do the logos, websites, lead magnets, brand redesigns, any presentations, like you see all my presentations here, workbooks, books, book covers. We do a lot with people helping write a book in 13 weeks, and they help with the book covers. And so this is not new, right? Disruption is not new for us. So if you want some experience help, I would love to help you out. We have an academy to help you out. Some of you just might need a session with me to move it forward. It just depends. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and just book a strategy call. That strategy call will be 45 minutes. I'll ask you some questions about your business before we meet, and you just book the call. Call Koni.com, book the call, book the time. I'll ask you some questions before we meet, and then I'll go off and design a strategy for you. That's why it's called a strategy call. Okay. And then on that call, I'm going to outline that strategy for you, and then you can decide if you want to do it with us or without us. So I like to tell you all that up front so you don't think there's something secret and mysterious that I'm hiding or whatever. We really want to get you that maximizer. And if you aren't sure what it is your 30-day accelerator to take the 4 key steps to scale your business and make sure you're doing all of the 4 steps. So just type hashtag max. We'll get that maximizer to you and make sure that you're continuing on from what you've learned. Part of the disruption is you got to probably disrupt a little bit of your life, right? You probably got in a habit of just doing the same old thing, right? Now, the other disruption is going to be in your mind. And so this is a lot of my background and my PhD. So I want you guys to know that I've been asked to do this workshop and talking about all the things that I've researched for over 12 years in working with the mind and consciousness and elevating all of that, because it's the most important thing. If your mind isn't right, you cannot act as if. You can't fake it till you make it. And all those memes that go around, it just doesn't work. I got to tell you, there was a time when I was taking this company to $1 million, and I said, I'm going to do it in 10 months. So do you know how strict I had to be to make sure I didn't let my mind listen to anybody else? I said, you can't go from 0 to $1 million in 10 months. There's no way. Well, I already did it for a client. I took him from 0 to -350 to 2 million in 1 year. He went to 1 million in 9 months. It took me a little longer, but so I know how to do that. I love it. And so I've been asked to do a workshop on that. It's a private thing. It's 3 days, and it's really breaking down how do you actually have the mind of a multimillionaire? And it's based on neuroscience, physics, consciousness research, medicine, and psychology. Okay. If you would like to know about it, just type hashtag mind. The workshop is called Mind Your Business. Okay. And it is coming up April 3rd through the 5th. Mind your business. I will let you guys know more about it. And it is private. It's not here. So if you do want to come, I would love to invite you. It'll be free if you're here in the Iconic group. And just type #mind and we'll reach out to you. So I just want to let you know that it is one of my favorite things to help people with is restructuring their mind for greatness. And I hope you guys can come. I will see you guys next Tuesday at 5 p.m. And thank you for being here. And thank you for all the loves and likes and hearts and all that.